my mic wouldn't be able to get plugged into my computer.
Oh, that's right. There you go. Although we could get you a solo box if you wanted.
I've already got one of those. I was born with one of those. Talking about vaginas, right?
Oh man. I've already cried this morning.
Oh God, why? Because the Super Bowl's coming up?
I know, right? I'm super excited about that. No, fucking Brian Phillips sent me like the most heartfelt text, and just halfway through it, just blah.
Oh, look, affection.
Yeah. And so he was just reminiscing on the weekend, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, it is 10:30 on a Wednesday, and I'm crying like some divorcee over here. And yeah, so it's been
Let's see. There we go.
It's been a weird morning.
It's not weird to cry.
I mean, just to open the day.
Sometimes it's the best way to start the day, because then you're just like, well, now that's done.
Mark that off the list. I was going to do that later this afternoon after the call to the parents, but no.
I like it. I like when I get things done early. Nice.
Good news. No matter what it looks like on my screen, it looks how it should on the recording.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I love it when it's already handled.
Go Zoom.
Go Zoom.
Probably had a meeting about that. So
You
yeah,
think they had that meeting on Zoom?
They're like, I'm trying to record these things and I don't know where I'm at. I'm above her. Now I'm below her. Now I'm to the side. What the fuck? Get Gary from design in here.
It's a real design twister.
But yeah, so you're going to take Otto to a dog park?
I am. He hasn't been in a while, so I figured may as well. It's a beautiful day. The ground isn't wet with rain. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. Take my book.
Oh, very cool. How long do you go to a dog park for? You just let him run around?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't necessarily run around as much as he used to. If there's another dog his size, he'll go like scamper.
For sure.
Play, go do his thing. But if there's like other bigger dogs that are playing around, he'll just sit next to me and watch him. He's like, man, looks like they're having fun.
Yeah, I feel scared. I don't want to go over there. They're big.
You want to read that book out loud or?
So you got like, so if Otto had a job, it'd probably be an IT or something. Probably not a blue collar dog.
Lifeguard.
He does look really good and is kind of dumb. So that tracks.
Hey, it's genetic.
You're not his real mom though, right?
Pretty sure I have the photos after the cesarean to prove it.
Blah. That's fucking gross.
And if you saw my pubes, you'd be like, yeah, that's her dad. That's his mom.
If that day ever comes, it will be.
There will have been some kind of accident.
Yeah, definitely walked in the wrong door on that one. And now I can't see anymore. Why? Because I scratched out my eyes. I scratched them out real bad. Well, yeah. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back. Look at us remembering to do that this time.
It's the 1 millionth podcast. I'm Chris Porter.
I'm Andi Porter. Oops.
We're Scott and Carol's kids.
We are Scott and Carol's kids.
And we're doing it remote and we're doing it video, which, by the way, we are getting a lot of positive feedback on.
Great.
Everyone loves the
negative
videos.
Feedback.
You know what? To be honest with you, I didn't read a lot of the comments, but a lot of the emails are like, yes. But
awesome.
There are a lot of comments on the episodes that I haven't really gotten into.
That's fine. I should read those if I'm like ever having a bad day.
You should read them now. Just bring them up.
Nah.
Yeah. So if you are listening to this on Spotify or Stitcher or any of those places where we do audio, we're showing our faces now.
Yeah. One day we'll show whole.
That'll be a premium service. You're definitely gonna have to subscribe for whole vids.
That'll be the Patreon for sure.
That'll also be the day before we get kicked off of Patreon. That seems like more of an OnlyFans.
No.
1 millionth pod on OnlyFans. Man, that's a lot of buttholes. we just Ace Ventura our way through an entire episode.
Why are so many of them white and fluffy?
But yeah, so how was your weekend? Well, actually, we've been gone for 2 weeks, so let's talk about the weekend before.
We've been gone for 2 weeks. Well, you know what? The weekend before was pretty uneventful, except for the AFC Championship happened.
Oh yeah, we can definitely get into that. But
Totally
Friday, you didn't do anything that Friday?
Oh, you know what? I did. I went and saw Megan in theaters,
Oh,
and
the basically
the creepy
Problem
doll.
Child 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
What? Not Chucky.
I get where you're going
Is that
with
Chucky?
the Problem Child.
Chucky 4.
That would be Child's Play.
Child's Play 4. Problem
Yeah.
Child is the one where the kid's just like an amped up Dennis the Menace.
For sure. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Child's Play.
Child's Play. And I think there already was a Child's Play 4.
Okay. Child's Play. Yeah, there was, because Chucky had like a girlfriend, and then I think the girlfriend ends up killing him.
Yeah, that was Bride of Chucky, played by Jennifer Tilly. So good.
Awesome.
And then there was Chucky 4. They named it Chucky 4, and that had Aubrey Plaza, and it's very good.
Shit. All right. So this is this seems like a more, because the Child's Play are very cartoonish.
They are, but I mean, they do still have elements of like horror movies in them, right? There's like still scares and like jump scares, and like, you know, the doll is terrifying.
But this seemed, and again, I've only seen the trailer, seems more of like an American Psycho kind of weirdness.
That is the weirdness, but I think above everything, it's a comedy.
Oh, okay. So more of, so it is along the lines of like, what was it? Violent Night.
Yes, it definitely has like, none of it is like actually scary. It was fucking hilarious. I cannot suggest it more highly.
Okay. Maybe
it was so funny.
Maybe I'll take the girl and we'll go see the,
she's into that shit. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but you can rent it on iTunes.
Oh, okay.
For like $20, but I'm sure in like 2 weeks it'll be $5.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. I already greenlit it for a sequel, like opening weekend.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. And then Saturday I did nothing, and then Sunday went and watched the Chiefs game. I wasn't gonna go because I kind of felt like my allergies were really bugging me. It's like itchy eyes, super runny nose, and I was like, maybe it's because I've been cleaning out a lot of closets.
For sure.
And so there's just been like a lot of dust and debris, and the weather's been changing. Anyway, turns out I had a full on fucking cold, but I didn't give it to anyone. So that's good.
Good. Good for you.
Yeah. I woke up Monday just like, you know, when you have that film in your mouth and lips, and I was like, this isn't good.
This isn't good. And you got that like itchy, painful itch in the back.
It was because like you've had that postnasal drip all night in your sleep.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's fine. Surely I'll wake up tomorrow feeling better. And I didn't. And then I thought the next thing about the next day, and it didn't happen again the next day. But Thursday, started feeling like Friday was the first day I was able to like cook for myself.
Oh, very cool.
Well,
so it was that debilitating where you're like, you couldn't even get up and cook things.
No, I had a splitting headache and like was lightheaded. I probably had a fever.
Oh, wow.
It was gross, but I tested negative every day and never lost my taste or smell. So
yeah.
Anyway, but
so you got
that was my week. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then this last weekend I didn't do anything.
Hold on. Let's talk about the championship game.
Okay.
A lot of controversy. And
why is there controversy?
Just the extra play, which is hilarious. You know, when they did the third down over again, a lot of people thought that was bullshit, but also that drive ended 2 plays later with a punt. So really kind of a non-issue. And then the intentional grounding that they called on Burrow, like what they did, you know, since Cincinnati's just a bunch of poor losers, which happens. Like, listen, I know when your team's been terrible forever and they're finally like, you weren't there in the 80s. At least, well, you were there. Man, was I. The Chiefs were fucking awful in the 80s. They were like the Royals are currently.
And also we're before 2012.
Yes. So then in the 90s, we've always had a fairly successful football team throughout your lifetime. Like there were some times in the aughts where we were not great.
Like there was a time, I would say there was a time in the 90s when we were good, and then like we weren't good again until like 5 years ago.
Well, you'd be wrong because there were the Dick Vermeil years in like 04, 05, 06, where we had like an amazing offense and no defense, and then we
04, 05, 06. That's when I was 18 to 20. So I was drinking, getting finger banged in the back of a car or movie theater.
Hi, Mom. Anyway,
or in rehearsal.
I'm gonna go over here and throw up, and then we'll keep going. And it's just hilarious. Everyone thinks the NFL is rigged. I'm like, first off, do you know how many people would have to keep their mouth shut for that to be a thing? Like there are literally.
Wasn't it Arian Foster who was just doing an interview and said that the NFL is scripted?
Yeah. Well,
so
show
funny.
us the script there, AF.
There's been so many good memes of like videos of Tom Brady smiling, seeing someone walk in the room, and it was like Tom Brady getting the script his rookie season, just like, hey, okay.
So I get 7? No shit.
No shit.
Great.
Awesome.
Man, I bet Steve DeBerg got his script and was like, what the fuck? Or even Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf is like, I do all the drugs, and there's a whole game where I don't complete any passes. I like
awesome.
I don't like the drug part. Man, Junior Seau had to really hate the end of his script. Anyway. I ended up I had to stay off social media for a while because it was just, when stupid people say a bunch of dumb shit, you kind of want to get on there.
You love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for material, but it's not good for your off time where you're just scrolling through Instagram trying to celebrate a team win.
Right.
But yeah, it was a fun game. I watched it at home by myself because I knew
it was a stressful game.
It was going to be like the Super Bowl is like such a spectacle. Like the game kind of takes a back seat a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Especially this year with the Rihanna concert.
No kidding.
I can't.
But also, it's like, I mean, the Chiefs kind of got to win this one. I mean, you don't want to go to 3 Super Bowls and only win one of them.
Yeah.
But also the Philadelphia Eagles are really fucking good.
Yeah, I know. I'm nervous.
But also their fans are the fucking worst.
Yeah, that's why I'm hosting over here, because we don't want to go to a bar and deal with Eagles fans.
And I like Philadelphia people. Philadelphia people, by and large, are good people. But when their fucking team's playing, they turn it like they threw batteries at the Bengals. Or not the Bills fans. Or not the 49er fans.
I mean,
49er fans.
Kind of fuck the 49ers, though, right?
Also fuck the 49ers, but also
if you're whipping batteries at anyone.
You won. Like, let them just go home. They paid $5,000 to watch their team lose. Let them have a safe walk back to the fucking Uber.
I don't know. I'd kind of watch I would watch a YouTube video of an Eagles fan throwing a car battery at a Bills fan.
A car battery?
Right? Trying to having to get it out of the car.
Also, if you can't get out of the way of a car battery, you kind of half deserve it.
That's what I thought of when you said batteries. I was like, they're ripping them out of cars. Who just has pockets full of batteries?
Also, who's ripping the car battery out of their car?
It didn't have to be their car. There's probably a car on the street. It's Philadelphia.
Now there's hydrochloric acid all over the. They don't step there.
Where'd the bottom of my shoe go?
Oh, it's dissolving. Oh, there's my foot.
Oh.
Guess we're going to call me Hop Along from now on.
Oh, look, there's the bones.
I did eat the bones.
I did eat the bones.
So that was weekend. So yeah, we won. It was a good time. And here was the thing. I was like, oh, I'm gonna start drinking as soon as the game starts. And then the game started, and I was nervous, and I didn't feel like drinking, and I was like, I'll start drinking at halftime. And then halftime came, I was like,
Still don't
want
feel
to
like
drink
drinking.
yet. And then finally in the fourth quarter, I was like, you're gonna have a drink, you fucking pussy. And I fucking had half a tequila, and that was about it. Yeah, that weekend I was actually in Philadelphia doing shows. And I gotta tell you, Philadelphia fans, way better than the Buffalo fans the week prior. I know I told you about
Right.
what I had to deal with that. And then so like every time I would get on stage and they would do the fucking Eagles chant or whatever, I'd be like, hey, and I would tell them the story from Buffalo, and I'd just be like, just FYI, I'm 1 for 1. So maybe shut the fuck up and let's have a good time over here. But Philadelphia was super fun. Thanks to everybody that came out, sold a shit ton of merch, which thank you. And but also had a bunch of cheesesteaks.
Oh, did you?
And the cool thing
You're
about
a cheesesteak fan?
Yeah, I mean, I get them without the onions and shit. It's basically just chicken and cheese whiz.
Chicken? Oh, hold on. Someone's at my door.
Okay, yeah, I heard it.
It was Amazon.
What are they knocking for? Just leave it and go.
I know, right?
I figured it was your landlord going, we have a strict no podcast rule. We're just fucking tired of them.
Oh my God. That would be funny if she were ever here.
Wait, your landlord, your fucking building manager doesn't live there?
She's supposed to. I haven't seen her in months. And also, okay, I'm very frustrated because our elevator's been broken for 2 months. Not like it matters for me, but like there is some people who live in the building that are
disabled,
need ADA access, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, there's this one guy, I just seeing him go up and down the stairs. I'm just like, oh, buddy. But I've been taking his trash out for him to save him.
Oh, good for you. Paying it forward.
I know. He's a really nice guy. So, and then there's that. And then the call box hasn't worked in 2 months. And she was like, it'll be fixed by January 3rd. And every time I ask her about it, she doesn't say anything.
Oh, that's
then
awesome.
The gate is still smashed in where that car hit it. So like people can just crawl in.
Oh.
There's still a locked door that they have to get through to get into the building. But it's like one of the gates is held closed with a tied up piece of extension cord. It's awesome.
Have you thought about emailing her bosses? I know you've done that in the past.
I'm going to. It's on my to-do list for today, but I've had a lot of other things to do. I had to pay my car registration. That took 3 minutes.
I was gonna say that's fucking filling out an online form.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's on there.
Awesome. Then last weekend was last weekend.
Last weekend was good. I didn't do anything because I was getting over the cold. So Friday night I made some soup. And then
You've
Saturday,
been crushing. By the way, I got you that Dutch oven for Christmas, an actual Dutch oven. I didn't hold her head under the covers. And you've been crushing the soups.
I've been making all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Souping it up. But I did make soup again on Friday just because it's so easy. And then Saturday I ate the soup.
How do you make a soup?
You just kind of like simmer all the shit together and then either keep it on the stove or put it on the oven, and then you just put your immersion blender in there and blend it all together.
Oh, cool.
You got to pick out any of the herbs that you don't want to blend up, like the thyme and the bay leaves. You want to just pull those out, leave their essence in the soup, blend up the other shit.
Yeah. I love the essence of thyme, which I believe is an MC Escher painting.
Yes, it is. MC Essence of Thyme. So made some soup, ate the soup Sunday. What did I do Sunday? Let me see. I wrote it down because I didn't do anything. I had to write down what I did.
Put it down in your did things journal.
Oh my God, this is what I wanted to bring up. Sunday at 3:30 in the morning. This noise came on from a building outside my window, and it was like a high-pitched tone. Yes, it went on until 9:30 in the morning. I called non-emergency LAPD, like surprised that they didn't do anything, but they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then I took a video of it, and it has been recurring. It keeps happening 2 nights ago from 10:30 p.m. till 1:30 in the morning. And then yesterday it went off. I text my upstairs neighbor. I'm like, do I have tinnitus or do you hear that too? He's like, no, we're losing our shit up here. I'm like, okay, great. Thanks. It's not just me. Can you enable screen sharing?
Yes, I don't know why it doesn't just do that. Where would I do that?
Watching you try to figure out Zoom in real time is one of my favorite things.
Dude, you know what I realized the other day? I was taking a picture of me and Zach, and I make the dad doing stuff face.
Looking at his phone?
Yeah. And as soon as I took the picture, I'm like, God damn it. It's just, all right. Well, I'll edit all that out.
Speaking of you and Zach, I did see a picture of the Ramones the other day on the internet.
Yeah.
A picture of them from like way back when, and when they were alive. And I was like, oh, they have the same T-shirts that Chris and Zach have, and I'll show it to you. Look at you guys in your tiny tees.
We don't buy the crops. I'll give you the sleeves, but I'm not showing button.
You're not showing butthole, the buttonhole.
The button, no, just belly button. I'm not showing goody trail.
I saw that picture and I was like, that's funny.
That's
but here,
but if that Sweetwater one was full length, I would totally buy that. Oh, Kevin Christie, a very good friend of mine who's an actor and a comedian, posted a picture of a fucking 7-Eleven sweatshirt where he was like, I just bought this. And I was like, I am 100% going to show up in that sweatshirt because I want one too.
Why do all 7-Elevens smell the same?
I mean, just, dirt smells the same no matter where you're at.
They've got to be using like the same cleaning products. It's got to be like the combo of the icy machine, like the Slurpee machine,
but also with
the taquitos
and the 18-year-old hot dogs.
Yeah, and then urine. But okay, I'm going to show you this video of this tone that is ruining my life.
Okay.
It's so annoying. I can't.
Here's the sweatshirt.
Oh, that is a cool sweatshirt.
Right? I kind of want it. I think I'm going to buy it. I also bought a band hat, like the band.
Oh, like a trucker hat that says the band?
But it's got like a patch on it, and then it says available on 8-track and cassette.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's one of those Instagram got me again. Where you're just like, oh, what's my friends doing? What's my friends? Oh, fuck, I need that.
Oh, I sent you the video if you want to watch it on your phone so you can have some frame of reference of how horrible that sounds.
Okay.
Or maybe it's so high pitched your old man ears can't hear them.
Oh God.
It's terrible.
I hate that.
Even AirPods in.
Hold on. I can't hear you. Now I can.
Okay. AirPods in. Noise canceling, full blast, window shut, air conditioner on. Still could hear it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a difficult hurts.
Yeah. So didn't sleep on Sunday, really.
Oh, womp womp.
So then I took a little nap and then took a bunch of stuff too. And by little nap, I mean it was 2.5 hours. And then I took a bunch of stuff to donate. And was that all I did that day? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then softball on Monday. You weren't there because you were resting, but I hit a triple. First pitch, first at bat.
That's awesome.
First baseline drive. It was wild.
Gotta buy the first baseman.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Way to go, Rue. Your bat's really coming along.
Thanks, man. I need to figure out how to hit it that way all the time.
Well, practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone could just stand behind me and yell, now.
You've been hitting the shit out of the ball lately.
Well, I don't really have a lot going on. So I'll save it all for softball.
Oh, good. Good. How is the job search? I mean, you have an agent now, so you just kind of Hang out.
I still apply for every fucking job. I'm like, it's that time of year where it just,
They're
it
still
ain't
they're
easy,
yeah. They
but it's
probably
going.
it starts picking up here this month though, right?
Yeah, usually. And I'm fine until if I hit mid-March and don't have a job, we are in trouble. But
uh
for right now, but I'm in the interview process for a job that I really want, and I don't want
good.
to sit and I don't want to talk about it. So
Okay,
not
great.
for me. Positive vibes, everyone.
Good for you.
Thanks, man.
Super excited for
Oh,
you.
you know what I have been doing? Did I
What
talk
have you
about that
been
last time?
I don't know, but
The class that I've been doing,
the class?
comedy class. I took this class back in 2020, but I was also working on another job, so I wasn't able to take it seriously. For this kind of
the writing class.
So I recorded that from the top.
Is it live or it's all pre-recorded?
It's all pre-recorded.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
great.
I attended the classes live when they happened 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
but now going back through and actually taking the class seriously and like writing some spec scripts.
Oh, good for you, Real.
Hey, man. Fire.
One foot in front of the other.
I was getting really bored with GTA, so I figured may as well work towards my career.
Well, after Philadelphia, I came home on Sunday. Watched the game.
Philadelphia freedom.
But what I was getting into is you stay in a weird part of town, and well, it's not weird, but except for it's called Old Town, where all the like
Old Town Philly back again. Doing a little East Coast swang.
I you stay in a part of town where it's like where all the old shit happened, because Philadelphia was integral.
That's where the bell is.
That's where the bell is. It's where the first bank, all kinds of shit. But it's also down kind of like around where there's a bunch of shit going on. So you just walk down the street. It's like Dunkin' Donuts, bar.
Oh, cool.
America's first courthouse. Like it's just all like that.
Urban Outfitters.
Urban Outfitters. Yeah. And then I put it on my Instagram. There used to be a Dairy Queen there. It didn't make it. And now it's a dry cleaner, but the Dairy Queen awning's still up. So I was like walking up. I was like, fuck yeah, there's still a Dairy Queen. I walked up. I'm womp womp.
So sad.
Yeah. They would not make me a blizzard no matter how much I begged and pleaded. Nor did they seem to know what a blizzard was.
They were like, did you leave your coat here? I don't understand.
But it was nice. Had a great time, had great shows. Yeah, again, a lot of cheese steaks. I had one. I go to Ishkabibbles, for those of you wondering. It's the name. There's one, and there's Ishkabibbles 2. And I got it from one. And wildly suggested to me by Zach Myers. So
well,
yeah. So but yeah, great time in Philly. Thanks to everybody that came out. I'm trying to think like there was something else that happened. But I came home on Sunday and watched the game. Monday and Tuesday are a blur. I'm trying to think.
Well, because you had like one of the biggest weekends of your life.
Yeah, no, it was a fucking crazy ass weekend. So Wednesday I flew to Philadelphia.
You didn't make soup?
I didn't. I did, but it was in my pants.
Ugh.
Yeah, and no one wanted any, no matter how much I offered.
Chris soup.
I got crackers. Anybody want poop crackers? Anyway,
I am the cracker.
So yeah, flew Wednesday to Philadelphia again, where I got on Bert Kreisher's tour bus. And
what's that bus like?
It's a tour bus. Luckily, I got on early. Like they had literally just flown in from Europe, so it was the first days that they had been on that bus. Because that bus filled up quickly. Like
really.
Because in the past, I had seen Bert had what they call a star cruiser, which is where the back lounge is it's like a queen bed, and it's where the star sleeps.
Right.
When I was on the Black Crows bus, they had just like a tour bus and the back was a back lounge, and then everyone had their own bunks. And that's what Bert had this time. And I was kind of like, oh, that's cool. Like Bert just wants to be one of us. But then I realized that no, that's just where they store A, all the video gear, and B, all the shit they either buy or are given on tour. And
it's a junk bus. Like
yes,
a junk drawer.
It's like a junk lounge.
Yeah.
But it's also where his video guy goes and cuts all the videos during the day and stuff. Anywho.
Oh my God. What a fucking gig. Can I be your video guy when you're Bert?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Great. Sweet. Thank you.
So yeah, it was great. I was the first one on the bus besides the tour manager and the driver. And then, and I get there and they're like, he was like, oh, the bunk above yours is a junk bunk. So you can put your stuff up there. And then they were like, oh no, the tour manager was like, actually, Zach Myers from Shinedown will be joining us on Friday, and he'll be riding from us from Hershey to Boston. And I was like, fuck yeah. Because I kind of knew that was going to happen, but I'd never heard confirmation from anyone. And I was like, cool. And then, so Bert and all them, like, I just basically chill on the bus for the first couple hours. By that, I mean, I sat outside the bus and smoked a shit ton of weed. And had a coffee and just made phone calls and did a bunch of shit. But yeah, and then they showed up and Bert's on the bus 4 minutes and he's like, get your shoes on. We're going to a sneaker store. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go to a sneaker store. I'm into sneakers. We walk into sneaker store and Bert Kreischer's like goddamn Willy Wonka. He's like, whatever the fuck you want, man. It's on me. I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, man, grab a pair. And I was like, okay. And you could tell, like, everyone else that had been on tour. So you grabbed
his pair. You were like, "Is this what you wanted? Because I'll do more for a second pair."
And you could tell, like, the other people were like totally used to this because they were just like, "All right." And
man, that's awesome.
They had nothing I wanted in my size. They literally, it got to the point where I go, "Hey, man, just show me what you have a 13 of in Jordans." And they're like, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I was like, I'm not going to just get shoes because you're offering them if I'm never going to wear them.
Right.
And but then I did see a pair. Like, I don't spend stupid money on shoes.
Right.
But I saw a pair that I wanted a long time ago, and they're in the suburbs of stupid money. They're not quite stupid money, but they're like, anyway.
How much are they?
I don't want to get into that. The point is,
is it my rent?
No. Way less than that. Way less than that.
I don't think that's stupid money.
Less than $1,000, but not much.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Anyway, once tax season's over and I figure out where all my money's at and how much I owe Uncle Sam, I think that's going to be because I don't touch my merch money. Like, it all just goes into a bank account. I don't touch it for the whole year.
Oh, wow.
And then at the end of the year, I have a large sum of money that I usually put into a savings account. But I think that might be my little gift to myself, little dippy out of the merch. And
that's nice.
So yeah, I want these so Levi put out a version of the Jordan 4, which is all I know is all foreign talk to you. Hold on.
Jordan 4. Those are the ones before the 5s?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And after the 3s.
Anyway, they look like this. They're denim.
Oh, those are nice.
Yes.
I really like those.
I do too. And so they had a pair, so they make them in white, blue, and black. And I want the white ones.
Like a Shelby. Wait, no, that was red, white, and blue.
Anyway, they had a pair of them, but they were like a 9. And I was like, no, I can't do that.
You can cut the toes out. Just have your full toes hanging off the edge.
So
they're better for grip.
So anywho, long story short, we spent like an hour and a half in a sneaker store and I just fucking get blue balls to the hilt. And we walk out, and Bert literally walks out with like 5 pairs of shoes. Anywho, we had a great time. And then we went and had dinner, and then Thursday we were that night we drove to Hershey, where we went to this arena to see Bert's new stage setup, which he hadn't seen yet. So we went and saw it. And then once he was like, yeah, that's really cool, we got in the bus and went to Williamsport and did the first show, which were like in big like theaters, like the Midland, like that kind of size, like 3,000. We did 2 shows there. The first show we only, because there were 2 shows and you have to move 10,000 people, we only did 7 minutes apiece, which was fucking weird and awkward. But the rest of the time we did 15 minutes, and the shows were great. And then fucking, I love the tour bus is just such a great life. Like you have a bed, you have a little living room. You can, on the Black Crows bus, obviously we could smoke weed and do nitrous, and that wasn't quite the case here. I just have to get really stoned right before the bus left, and then fucking just crawl in my bunk and play GTA till I started hitting myself in the face with the Switch. You know how you do that when you're playing when you're asleep, and then all of a sudden you're just like, okay, I'm done. I'm done.
I've never done that, but I can't see how that could happen.
I do it with my iPad more when I'm like watching The Office, and I'll like have it on my thing like that, and then all of a sudden it'll just fall and hit me in the face.
I have done that, like scrolling Twitter in bed. Like, okay, that's enough. That's enough.
So then the shows in Williamsport were great, and then that night, and then at night you just leave at like 2 and you hang out at the venue till like 2 a.m, and then the bus just leaves, and then you drive throughout the night. So as you sleep, you're just literally being vibrated to sleep. Now it also depends on how good your driver is, and I would, out of 10, I would give Bert's driver like a 5, like because I almost like fell out of my bunk a bunch of times.
They don't have like a little net you can secure.
I mean, no, because you're supposed to have a good enough driver to where it's like a non-issue. And I thought the first night I was like, I just don't have my sea legs. Like I'm just not used to it. And then I was talking to another, the trainer that he travels with, and she's like, no, I almost rolled out of my bunk a couple times. I was like, all right. But he was a good guy. Like the only reason he got a 5 was personality, to be fair. So anyway, we go to Hershey, and that's a full on fucking arena, like 10,000 seats.
The photos look so awesome.
And that was insane. And when you do 15 minutes, it was like just enough time to where like 8 minutes in, you're like looking around, you're like, I'm playing this giant fucking arena. Like, this is awesome. And yeah, the show, and the first show went, the show in Hershey was amazing, and it was also a great like warm up, because the next night we played the fucking Boston Garden.
When you play giant places like this, do you have to taper your cadence a little bit more so that you can like wait for the laughs in such a larger space?
A little bit, not too much though.
Yeah, it's not a huge difference.
I mean, it's some difference, yeah. But I'm pretty slow anyway. So,
we know.
So yeah, we pulled into the bus. First off, there was like, the first day was fairly nice, and then like this polar plunge hit.
Ooh.
And it got fucking Arctic. Like, I think it was 0. Like, my best friend Brian, who we talked about earlier, lives in Boston now. I don't get to see him but once every couple years.
What a beard, by the way.
Yeah.
That thing is pointy.
Yeah, it is well manicured.
It is structured.
Yeah.
It's a thing of beauty.
It could be at Disney World as a shrubbery. In
the Star Wars section, obviously.
But also a very good friend, probably my best, is my best friend in the world, and fucking has made a name for himself.
He's the best.
He's the best. Anyway, he was there, and we had made plans to like walk to town and go have lunch. And it was like, it hurt to go outside.
Ooh.
It was that kind of cold where like your skin just dried up and just hurt and got real chapped. And we got into town like, bro, like, I don't want to show up early for the show, but I'm not walking around in this. I mean, 100%. So, the Boston Garden is obviously epic. You get to walk through the Paul Pierce player tunnel.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
My friend has a cat named Paul Pierce.
I know. We know. I love that. I love that dude to death, but there are times where you're like, fucking.
Do you remember the other one's name?
Mauio Chalmers.
Meowio
Chalmers. Yeah. I mean, fucking 8 points for creativity.
He did have a girlfriend at the time who helped name them, I should say. It's not fully.
And you know what? I think that's the most surprising part of the story. Anyway, the Boston Garden, obviously, it's new. It's not the old Boston Garden where like Larry Bird played and all that stuff, but it's still, and it's the TD Garden, but also fuck off. It's the Boston Garden.
Right. Sandstone is sandstone.
Yes. And
Staples will be Staples, because I also doubt it'll be crypto.com arena for much longer.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So, which even when it happened, I was like, good luck with that. So yeah.
It's gonna be like Spirit Halloween Arena next.
Fucking Braniff Airlines Arena.
Braniff.
Yeah.
We're back.
Red Box.
Movie Pass Arena. Movie Pass is coming back.
Oh, is it?
Did you see that AMC is changing their pricing?
So yeah, with the surge,
if you want to sit in the middle, it's going to be more expensive. Eat my ass.
Yeah, it won't last. They're already getting grilled over it. It's like when Netflix is like, we're cracking down on passwords, and everyone's like, the fuck you are.
And they're like, no, sorry, we don't know.
Sorry about that. We're fucking, you know what? We were drunk.
I wish I could unsend a voicemail,
What up, Portheads, talent receivers, and dumblefucks? Chris Porter here, and I'm wearing sunglasses on the couch because I feel cool. Because my balls are trimmed using the Lawnmower 2.0 from Manscaped. But I know a lot of you are thinking, Chris, I've been trimming my balls just like you tell me. Now what? Well, now what? Now you use the Crop Preserver. That's right, deodorant for your balls. Use it. That way when your partner gets down there, it smells like a goddamn Yankee Candle. And then when you're done with the preserver, you revive. You're using the Crop Reviver. It's a toner for your balls. That's right. You work out, you're in shape, but are your balls toned? Go to manscaped.com. Get all this shit. Enter in the promo code 1millionthpod and you'll get 20% off the entire order and free shipping. Tell them Chris Porter sent you. Tell him Chris Porter's toned ass balls sent you. So anyway, obviously the Boston Garden is probably, attendance wise, was the biggest show I've ever played.
How many people?
13,500. And it was sold. They call it sold clean, which means there weren't even singles available. There was no tickets available. Our guests could not have seats. They had to either stand at the soundboard or stand side stage. And the crazy thing was, it was so fucking cold that the water mains were breaking in Boston, like all over the place.
Yeah.
And the fucking, I almost called them the Inglorious Bastards, the Impractical Jokers, were doing a show down the street, and their show got canceled because water mains broke. So like 3 of them came over, like 2 of my buddies that opened for them came over. And then
half their set is water-based, the Impractical Jokers. So that makes sense.
And so, but then like Zach Myers was there, Brian was there. It was just like this epic evening. It's just probably the biggest show I've ever done. And
and to have your besties there.
To have my besties there. Obviously, it would have been great if you and mom and dad would have been there, but fucking, It was fucking epic. And
That's so awesome.
and the set went really, you're walking up on stage going, man, I hope this works. Because like in back of your ear, I'm like, if this is the one time these jokes don't fly, it's gonna get real bad. And just from start to finish, the set was great. And I definitely had that moment where I'm up there, I'm like, I'm fucking playing the Boston Garden. Like, this is
See,
awesome.
you deserve those shoes.
And so I walked off stage and I fucking hugged Brian, and I was this close to just fucking losing it. And
Stay
and then
strong.
we both kind of walked away like this, and fucking, and then Bert did his show, and then at the end he completely lost it on stage. He was just like, I can't thank you guys, like we're doing, and yeah, and it was just fucking. We had a moment before the show where he was like, "This is like, what do I do after this?" He's like, we're playing the Boston Garden. I go, "You fucking play it again." And he goes, "Yeah, but I feel like you peak, and then you have to go back to playing theaters." And I was like, "Bro, you have a movie coming out in 3 months." I go, "If you think you've peaked, you're out of your fucking mind." And it was so cool because at the end of the show, he goes, "I will see you back here next year." And he started crying. And at every show, he brought me and Mark Smalls, the other comic, up on stage, and so we got to like have that moment with him. And then Mark and I,
emotional.
And then Mark and I would walk off stage, and he'd do his final call, and then and then it was literally like right back to like we're just hanging out, having a good time. The night of the Boston, then the next night we were in Maine, and this dude half drunk did a full workout after the show.
Bert?
Yeah.
Well,
and then
get it
in between sets would go and like take a swig of his tequila and then go right back into it. Like, when you say that man's a machine, it's not a euphemism. Like, I'm just like, the fuck is happening? But yeah,
that's so awesome. And we couldn't be more proud. And by we, I mean me and the fam and the fans.
No, it was definitely a big moment. And I was, it's obviously you look back on it and you're just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And and now that I think about it, I don't remember the set. Like, I don't remember while I was up there.
Right.
Other than looking, I was just always very cognizant of how much time I was doing. I'm like, where am I at? I would do a bit and then look over and be like, all right, I got 3 minutes. And I did Rape Nudge at the end.
Yeah.
And I came off stage, and Zach goes, I like how you did the old one at the end. I go, fucking, we're at the Garden. Play Simple Man. So, but yeah, it was definitely a lifetime event. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I will get super emotional, but
gay.
Anyway, I think I'm going to do some more arenas with him. Possibly Bridgestone in Nashville.
Ooh, that was my view for 2 months.
And then I was like, hey man, not for nothing, but if you ever do T-Mobile in Kansas City, I would love to be a part of that. And he was like, well, that's the goal now. And I was like, great. So,
yeah, I'll fly in for that one. Fuck, I'll fly in for Nashville.
Guess what time it is, Rue?
It's like 12:12 in the afternoon.
It is listener mail time. I did delete like 1,000 notifications for comments and viewers of our YouTube channel and new subscribers, and can't thank you enough for subscribing.
Tell your friends, log into your parents' YouTube and subscribe them.
Yeah, and rate and subscribe and do all that stuff. So
yeah,
because Bert told me what he makes per episode for Two Bears One Cave, and we need to get more popular. Anyway,
is it money? Does he make money?
It's house. It's a house. He gets a house every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have questions, concerns, need life advice, send them to 1 millionth pod. That's all words. 1 million with a TH and a POD at gmail.com.
That's it.
This one's from Ed.
Ed.
He says, hey, Chris and Andy, subject line, your hate of Luke Bryan fuels us.
Fuels me too, Ed.
He says, hey, Chris, ampersand, Andy, period. I found your pod late, so I've been playing catch up. Just like to say, even though we don't agree on everything, I love to listen to the show. And that's what we love about our port heads, our talent receivers, and our dumblefucks.
It's so true.
Is that you listen to us? We don't have to agree on everything. We're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, I love to listen to the show. Keep kicking ass like you do every week. Proud to be a talent receiver. P.S. And then he sent us this. It says, the evolution of garbage trucks is amazing. And it shows you garbage trucks throughout time. And then the last one is a Luke Bryan rap tour bus. Which I think is very funny. Thank you, Ed.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
This next one's from Misha.
Misha Barton?
No, it's another one.
She was a star of that television show, The OC.
Oh,
like the early 2000s.
That explains it. This one says, thanks, y'all. Chris, ampersand, Andy. Just a lot of ampersands, and I love it.
Ampersandy.
Been a fan of Chris's since last comic and seen 2 great shows at Zany's in Nashville. Now a massive fan of Andy's because of the pod. Just wanted to say thank y'all immensely for the laughs and the anxiety relief. Y'all talk regularly with such humor about topics like public speaking and frequent flying that it relieves my anxiety, and I keep the pod on regular rotation. All the best to you, Sibs. Fuck you. Come on by, Misha. Aw.
Thanks, Misha.
By the way, if you just want to write in and tell us how great we are, we also accept that.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Maybe only do that.
Well, no? Maybe not, because we actually have some life advice that is needed from Cindy. She says, moral dilemma, greetings, Porters and Otto.
Bubba.
He's Otto Man.
Oh, sorry. He's like in the sun. He's like, what?
I was very looking forward to seeing him today.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You had
my
stuff
heater's
to do.
fixed, though.
Gotta say, I'm loving the new video aspect of the pod, says Cindy. Elevates the experience to a whole new level. You guys should have done this months ago. 2 thumbs up. Well,
okay, Cindy.
We didn't have to yell at us. Now for my dilemma. What do you do if you're traveling with someone who isn't TSA pre-checked? When I flew from New York to Nashville back in October for the first Campfire Astronaut show with my sister and her boyfriend, they weren't pre-checked, and I felt bad leaving them, so I stayed and went through the long, regular security line with them. That's how
Cindy, you do not have to do this.
Absolutely not. You look
leave
at them
those
and go,
fuckers
fuck
in the
you,
dust.
noobs. I'll see you at the lounge.
I'll be at the bar. See ya.
Yeah. Fucking
I
double
paid $85
middles.
for this for 5 years. Suck my butt. I'm going to get a free Miller Lite.
I'll vend both of you $170 and you can fucking fix this shit. She says, I already have my tickets to the Phoenix show and it looks like my sister is going to join me. If I can't convince her to get pre-checked by then, is it right? No, we already said that. She also says she caught the early show on Saturday this week and I'm feeling had a great time. Looking forward to Phoenix. Let me tell you something. When it comes to the airport,
Cindy's a super fan.
I love Cindy. She comes to the shows. She's a sweetheart.
That's awesome.
Anywho, Cindy, and we've hung out. You know me. Fuck them. Say, I'll buy you beers. You'll have a beer waiting for you when you get through, you fucking noobs. Because look, $85 for 5 years. There's not like Netflix is more expensive than that.
Yeah.
Exponentially. So it's like, even if you only travel once, maybe twice a year, it pays for itself.
Yes, it does.
$10 each time. And if you always travel, Clear is just like fucking mouth hugs. It's just, they're literally just pushing people out of the way. Like, sorry, this dude paid an extra $180.
It is awesome. It is awesome. And you get to gift people 3 months of Clear because Chris does that for me, and you can give them to your stupid sister.
I know. And I'm super close to 250,000 points on American. I'm hoping I get there. I have till the end of the month. It's going to be close. But I think that dictates whether or not you're platinum next year or not. So get ready for that.
Fly on, brother.
It
truly is the greatest gift.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
It's always good to see you, Rue.
It's always good to see you too, Chriser.
Am I going to see you? I'm heading tonight, aka this morning. Tomorrow morning, I'm heading to Milwaukee for shows at the brand new Milwaukee Improv.
Ooh.
Then I'm going to Green Bay to watch the Chiefs beat the
Mill
Eagles.
Run, don't Milwaukee to the new comedy club.
I hate how much I like that. Anyway, and then the weekend after that, I'll be in Minneapolis at Acme, the world famous Acme, top 5 clubs in the country. Come out to see me there. And in betwixt that, I'll be in Green Bay watching the Super Bowl with some very good friends of mine.
Awesome.
That do not include Mark because he'll be in Phoenix. Womp womp.
Well,
He'll probably
who are you
be
gonna
at
be
the
with?
Super Bowl. So I have a dilemma where one of my favorite people in the world, Sean Sanders, is going to be watching the Super Bowl at his home with his son and has invited me over there to just watch it very quietly and have some drinks. And that sounds very much like probably the plan. But also, my other good friends, not quite as good as Sean, but very good friends nonetheless, the Abnetts, who live like walking distance from Mark's house where I'm staying, are having a fucking blowout rager for it.
I think that's the move.
And I'm kind of thinking if
it was any other team in the Super Bowl that wasn't yours, I would say do the chill thing with Sean. That sounds fun. But it's the fucking Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and you want to be able to like scream and shout and let it all out as the Black Eyed Peas say.
If I was not that Sean's going to yell at me for being loud. Like, he still wants me to be boisterous and all that. I'm kind of thinking the vibe is to go to Sean's, because then I can have like a panic attack while I'm watching the game and people are like, so what's it like being a comedian?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So I'm kind of thinking maybe like first half at Sean's, second half at the Abnetts.
And Miss Rihanna in your travels?
Yeah, that's... I don't know. We'll figure. I'm just
gonna watch it on YouTube.
I'm gonna PBE.
Hey man, that's a great plan. I'm gonna make homemade jalapeno poppers. We'll see how those turn out.
All right. Well, as always, you can find Andy on Twitter at Andy Porter and on Instagram at Andy Port. And you can find the pod on Instagram at 1 millionth pod. That's all words, 1 million with TH and POD.
And you can find the pod on Twitter at the number 1 and the words millionth pod. And you can find Chris on Twitter and Instagram at I am Chris Porter. Because he is.
And I am. And you can find all my tour dates at chrisportercomedy.com. And that's true now because I had them updated. And as always.
Were you just lying that whole time?
No, I just went and checked one time. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot to send those. Anyway, as always, I'm Chris Porter.
I'm Andy Porter.
This has been the 1 millionth podcast. Fuck you.
Come on by.
Da 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 da.
Do 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 do.
Da 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 da.
Do 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 do.
Do 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 do
do do do do do do do do do do do. Thought you were frozen.
No, I was just being that guy across in the apartment. All right, bro. I love you.
I love you too, Chriser.